Hey guys, so my name is Finn. I'm gonna start a Boruto YouTube channel slash Twitch, and I kind of wanted just to dissect these episodes and just kind of see how we're feeling about them. I'm not really super critical over episodes, honestly. I think that everything is pretty well done. Um, Although I would say that there are some kind of weird things here and there that just don't really add up or make sense. So if you just kind of hear something that's that doesn't make sense, go ahead and just point it out in the comments, and I'll make sure to address it. But yeah, I'm just gonna give my take on this episode, Boruto episode 186. It's pretty lit, honestly. I'm absolutely no complaints, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of like watch the show like as I'm making comments about it, and we'll kind of like just go from there. So in the beginning, of course, you have your pretty badass opening of Kawaki and everything like that. And then you have Team 7 just kind of like uh, hiding in the bushes. They're waiting for Al to pop up. So they're kind of like just thinking, like, they're kind of just thinking of a good way to, I guess, like ambush him. And Mitsuki's snake is kind of just hanging up there as well. Um, And honestly, it really sucks that like Magino died. I know like a lot of people really didn't like him in the very beginning in terms of like the manga. But then of course like that's like what anime does. They kind of like try to pull you in eventually, um, with like some like character backstory. So that was kind of cool. But one of the main topics I wanted to go to first was just like, has anyone noticed how overpowered Team 7 is getting compared to everybody else? Like, I totally get it because, they're like the main characters, but like, they're like far beyond Jonin level. A lot of people just don't really understand that, or like, they're like, oh, well, like it's normal, or like, main protagonists always get that power up, but like, these characters are literally, dare I say, probably like they're only like 12, right? And this is still like technically the first season. um they're probably stronger than when in the Sasuke retrieval arc back then. When they're trying to get Sasuke, and you know Kimimaro was a thing, and then like the rest of the people, they were like fighting like against each other. No, like Team 7 is far beyond that already, and that's really insane to think about because they're literally prodigies. They are only going to keep growing, and it's just kind of weird to think that like, I guess because they're already at that tier that they're only going to get better. Um, like for example, in the episode today, we saw like Al versus Mitsuki, right? Um, he was just kind of like doing like basic attacks, and you know he does like his snake lightning, um, which like I guess is kind of like his default attack. Of course, he has like other attacks as well, but that's kind of like his go-to. Um, and he doesn't really ever use anything else besides like windbreak and like whichever. But like these attacks are getting really strong, like stronger than like when they first kind of started showing them. Same thing with like Konohamaru. Like we never really see Konohamaru really fight like serious, or he does, but he just gets trashed pretty easily. But um, they're kind of all just gradually advancing. Even like especially Sourda, Sourda. Like her fire styles as well are kind of getting up par. You know, Way more further than, in my opinion, Sasuke. I'm also just like, I freaking love Sarada, but hate me as much as you want. But I personally think that if Sarada just had like some kind of like power up in the sense of like that curse mark, she would surpass Sasuke like first gen. Like she's just amazing. And honestly, like like I said, like they kind of all are. They're all kind of getting at that point. But one thing that I did notice in this episode is that Sarada did not use her Sharingan at all, um, which is a little disappointing. She was mainly just kind of using her mother's tactics with like her fighting style, which is fine. But you would think that because this arc is kind of more like tech based, and especially with Sarada learning how to use her Sharingan to second Tomo, she would use it more, especially with Deepa's previous attacks. Um, she's just not really like utilizing it, so I kind of feel like there's like a missed opportunity there. Um, but yeah, so like there's that, and then like what exactly are they doing in between these episodes to get like this strong? Like kind of like I said before, like Sarda and Mitsuki, like they're pretty much mastering their attacks already. Same with Konohamaru, but Boruto, he's just getting like overpowered. Like and they're not really showing it. Like they kind of did like in the training arc, but like not really. Like he made like that green Rasengan. Like pardon if I don't know if I don't remember the name, but um, he kind of just like came out of nowhere and super slick, and then just have like these amazing jutsus that he kind of just decided to show off. Um, but one of the things that I really did enjoy is how slick Boruto was to get Al to change his chakra blades with each other. Um, of course, it's kind of been like foreshadowed these past couple episodes, uh, which like it makes sense. But I'm just kind of like enjoying like the more tactical side of Boruto rather than like Naruto when he first kind of started. He was just like, I'm just gonna pulverize you, just punch, 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 and then hope I win. But Boruto is like basically a Minato prodigy, like I just really like the subtle things that they're kind of doing in these episodes, where they're kind of showing his smarts more than his bronze, um, and like how does Boruto's base Rasengan, like how is it just so much more powered up than when they showed in the training arc? Because if I remember correctly, um, he shot his Rasengan and he was able to like kind of hit a rock and like maybe you know sort of do some damage. And like I know that he did end up getting that I forgot like the actual term, but it's like a bullet Rasengan, which is really great because it's how he defeated Deepa. But just doing that, does that just automatically increase the base Rasengan from there? Um, I just feel like there's just some things that just aren't really explained that well, um, which is fine. Like I get it, it's like an anime, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just too like technical about this. Um, and like what's really interesting is like Al's always taking like these L's like left and right with like his new toys. Like he's always getting it broken. Like his it just so happens to get destroyed, which is totally fine. And then he pulls out something else, which is totally good. But like I kind of wish he had more of um, like he used more of like his old like jutsus, um, or like just at least like integrating them in some way rather than just like relying on his technology. Which like I get, he was in the war, he was messed up, but like jutsu is like a chakra, like he should be able to do something at least rather than just like relying solely on this. And I feel like if he did, then like it would be like a little more different. um Speaking of, a lot of people want to hate on Konohamaru. I honestly do not know why. I get it, people say he's fodder, he's trash, etc. I just think he's been dealt a bad hand, and people are just kind of seeing that and make their first judgments. Like, if you notice back in the episode, Konohamaru saved Boruto from the drones that were on top, but no one else was noticing that, right? And then, like, they're going to say, like, oh, he just got trashed because he got hit by a drone. But, like, this is like a real life situation that they're trying to like portray. as much as that a real life situation can be. Uh, like stuff happens, and like he's lucky that Team Seven is able to really like help him out in the long run. But like you know, I just feel like the manga and anime and the community just don't do any justice towards him. Like, mark my words, he will be maybe not Hokage, maybe, I don't know, we'll see, but like something like of like importance of that. Like he's gonna get some kind of arc between here and the vessel arc to like the further and so on. That's just gonna like completely change his perspective at some point. Just because like they're not giving him so much of a training arc, they kind of did like in the Remen arc a little bit. Kind of showed some more of his jutsus, which is fine, but we never really got super into that. Um, and also, can we just talk about like the disses that Al was doing to Boruto about Mijuno? Um, like this man literally killed like his teammate, and it's just like left and right dissing. Like, I killed your teammate. I'm choosing death today. Like I get it, but like it's just kind of weird to kind of just do that. I mean, unless like he already knew that he was gonna go in and just die, which is fine, even though he has the intention of not dying. It's just kind of a weird situation he's putting himself in. And kind of like how I was mentioning earlier about Sourdough. So there's like this part in the episode where basically Boruto, he is surrounded by these drones, and he's kind of going in, and he's making his mark and trying to destroy the drones. However, Sarada tries to step in, and she instantly gets blasted, and she like retreats. That shouldn't be a thing. Kind of like I said before, if like the Deepa situation, like she literally had like an arc of her training using her Sharingan, being able to avoid those blocks that were being thrown at her. You would think that she would be able to at least like manage some drones. And like these drones, there's probably at least like what, maybe like 8 of them, maybe 10, and like those blocks that were being thrown at her were like infinite. Like you would just kind of think that they would try to incorporate that a little bit. Boruto is not handled, or he's not trained in this situation at all to be able to really like utilize his jutsu against these. Of course he has like his glove that he got from Katasuke, but I don't know. I would just think that they would try to do something with Sarada instead of just having them like sidelined because of the drones. Even then, like when he did get the drones out, they still just kind of sat there, which I'm just kind of like, I don't know. It's just a little weird for me. Um, Another thing that I kind of like noticed was and like it kind of confused me a bit. So Al was just kind of saying that he couldn't go back to the village, um, and like he couldn't come out like as a ninja again with like the tech that was there at the time. Um, However, he was able to use all of his tech during this battle, which is fine. But like all this tech is from Katasuke himself, and he originally wanted to help Al. So you know, um, why would he reject the idea of getting help, but then go to Kara, and I guess get a great tech solution from Amato, but just not really accept from Konoha. Like it just doesn't make sense. Like it just kind of seems like he just wanted to choose like a different path. Like he already kind of set his mind, and he just didn't want to change. And just kind of like making that excuse for a delusional mindset and like just self pity. Like this character has just been kind of messed with. That I feel like mentally he's just not really there anymore. So I don't know. Like there's always like a way. There's always a reason why people do these things and why they want to do what they want to do. But you know, there's always like another way. There's always a way to do better than what you did before, and it just kind of shows how much like Kara really like affects these people, affects these outers, these inners. You know, which we still don't really know exactly why they're being so loyal to them. Because even like in the Akatsuki, like you had members come in and come out like all the time. Like they didn't care. But Kara, like they it really means something to them to stay, and we just have not figured that out yet. So I'm kind of curious what is going to be that reason. Um, yeah, and it kind of just goes, full circle. Like if you were being offered that choice to just kind of like just be a tool for a organ, like for someone, it could even be like relationships or anything like that. Like, would you like if like would you choose death over trying to do better? Um, and if so, like why? Like why do you feel like you need to be at that point in your life? And like I get it, like his teammates were killed and whatever, but like there's just always another way, Sorry for rambling, but I just feel like something could have been done about that a little more. Also, one thing that I did kind of notice a little bit, and just kind of like wrapping up from here, but um, I noticed that Boruto as a series is kind of changing their editing styles. So one thing that I noticed is that throughout this episode, they had like little like pauses in between their transitional clips. So like it'll be you know, dramatic situation, and then it'll go dark for like 10 seconds, and then it'll go like to the next transition to try and like build that dramatic, climax, which is cool. But if I'm mistaken, I haven't seen any other episodes like that. And that's just kind of interesting. Like, are they only doing this because this is more like theatrical? It's more dramatic, which is probably the case. But like, I kind of wish that they would utilize this more instead of just like the copy and paste or the cookie cutter episodes that they usually push out. Like they kind of did something with it with that like transitional slides in the castle arc. I believe forgot the episode title, but it was when they were being assigned to the castle, and they started off with like a narrative. Like they already went and they already talked to Naruto to go into the castle, and it was like a voiceover, like that was kind of cool. It was a different like style of like the video, but I just kind of like want more things like that rather than just like every other like 20 episodes. Um, but besides that, honestly, like this episode is really great. I'm so hyped for Kashin Koji. Uh, I'm hyped for these kids to really see who Kashin Koji is. And like full disclaimer, I know everything about the manga, but yeah, I'm just really excited for like the anime only fans to see this. It's going to be so dramatic, probably a lot of dramatic cutscenes as well, but definitely stay invested. Like if you're new to this series and you're trying to like get more involved, like right now is the best time, honestly. Like I give this episode 10 out of 10, like no question. Just because like there's so many different elements to it with like sadness, like a lot of emotions, regarding like Magino's death, um, letting go, not killing Al like when he needs to, um, and yeah, like I really enjoyed this episode, and I feel like a lot of people did as well. So just kind of like let me know what you think. If you have any like comments or like if you're just kind of curious about something that I mentioned, um, go ahead and just like let me know. Um, and yeah, thanks for listening. I'll probably try to do this like every week or every Sunday as I can. I'm probably not gonna have any viewers yet, but that's okay. It'll eventually become a thing. So yeah, have a great day.